Welcome to the Jesus Coming Soon morning program. Today we have two issues for you. The first one is about how the refugees in Fukushima are living. They have no houses. They used to have big houses. Now they live in tents. They have no jobs. They are sick. And the second issue is about TV reporting when a scientist named Robert Jacobs, he says that nothing in the moment can be done to stop the radiation in Fukushima. Even if all the expertise from all over the world go to Japan, they won't know how to stop the radiation. And nowadays, every day, 300 tons of radiation goes into the Pacific Ocean. The water is full of radiation. The life in Pacific Ocean is dying every moment. So the Japanese people need our pray. Let's pray for those people. They are suffering too much. Meanwhile, the media says nothing about what is really happening in Japan. So you're going to see these two issues about what is really happening in Fukushima nowadays, 2013. God bless you too much.
When Japan was hit by a giant tsunami in 2011, the hundreds of thousands forced to flee literally saw their lives washed away. Promises were made that it would only be a matter of time before their homes were rebuilt. But as RT's Alexei Yarashevsky found out, those people are still waiting.
This woman can only fit me and my cameraman into her new home. She apologizes, but there's simply no room for the whole crew inside. She's one of resettlers from the Fukushima area, forced to leave their homes amid the 2011 nuclear disaster.
When the tsunami hit, we were told to pack only necessary things and run away. They said it would be only for 2-3 days. Now, living in this cage of a house, returning to our old house is a dream, which we know won't ever come true. We are being fed with promises of a bigger house, but that's as far as it gets, promises.
This is just one of the quickly erected residential areas where Fukushima exiles have relocated to. There are hundreds of makeshift camps scattered across the region, accommodating more than 300,000 people. All of the 400 resettlers living in this particular area used to have large houses before the Fukushima accident. Now they're forced to live in these 30 square meter dwellings. They were told that this would be just a short-term measure, but it seems in their case, the old saying there's nothing more permanent than temporary suits very well. The majority of these people are pensioners suffering from different ailments. They are jobless, just as surprisingly many of their younger neighbors. This man used to run a profitable venture. Now he barely makes ends meet.
I had a $100,000 a year business producing honey. Now it's destroyed forever, just like my life. On top of all that, I'm offered neither financial compensation nor any job. That's why I'm taking TEPCO to court.
The government says it's working on improving conditions for resettlers, but with the Fukushima clear-up draining billions of dollars out of the state budget, it could take years, maybe even a decade, to do that. Even local officials are being kept in the dark.
The government says it's building bigger houses, but will finish it in no sooner than 2 years. And not all of these people will be able to live in those. That's as little as we, officials on the ground, are told by the central government.
Fukushima means a happy island in Japanese, but that's the last word these people would ascribe to their lives, which are unlikely to ever return to normal, especially with the government admitting the area around the nuclear site might never again be suitable to live in. Alexei Yarashevsky, RT, reporting from Japan.
Spike in a radiation at the Fukushima nuclear plant. Readings from a water storage tank have rocketed 6,500 times higher in 2 days. A powerful typhoon swept through Japan earlier this week, causing toxic water to be released into a drainage ditch leading to the Pacific Ocean. It's compounded what's been a worsening situation at the plant in recent months, as Irina Galushko explains.
2.5 years to admit the painful truth. Japan needs help.
We are wide open to receive the most advanced knowledge from overseas to contain the problem. My country needs your knowledge and expertise.
The past few months have been marked by growing problems at Fukushima.
Several workers have been exposed to radiation, the levels of which are reportedly at their highest since the accident in 2011. And on top of that, there's the issue of leakage.
This is the reactor. Inside it is the reactor core, the actual nuclear part of the plant. This is water which is used to cool the nuclear core so it doesn't burst in flames. That water obviously has to go somewhere, so it goes into a special container which is slightly below the reactor itself, where irradiated water is stored and then filtered. Unfortunately, at the Fukushima plant, the situation is such that this container with the irradiated water is located on the very seashore. This is the ocean. And the problem with the Fukushima is that there's a leak, supposedly, right here. So from there, the irradiated water is flowing into the Pacific Ocean.
Sadly, Russia has a lot of experience to offer when it comes to wiping up remnants of a nuclear catastrophe. It has had its own deadly lesson a quarter of a century ago.
Fukushima should be treated just like Chernobyl, as a wreck that must be retired and put in a sarcophagus. The problem with Fukushima is that they can't decide whether they want to close it or to keep it going.
Closing the plant doesn't seem to be an option for TEPCO, the company operating the facility, which many in Japan blame for the failure to handle the Fukushima crisis. In fact, TEPCO is pushing towards reopening its Kashiwazaki-Kariwa facility, the world's largest nuclear power station. It was shut down in 2007, following reports of radioactive leaks after a powerful earthquake. But the power giant seems undeterred by the prospect of having two malfunctioning nuclear power stations on its hands, maybe hoping an international effort would solve both problems at the same time. Irina Galushko, RT.
Fukushima's troubles turn back, of course, to the earthquake and tsunami that ravaged Japan in March of 2011. Now, it took a year for Japan's government to admit that the nuclear disaster was caused by the improper handling of the crisis, and the plant's operator, TEPCO, well, they say it could have been avoided. Now, 2 years after the crisis hit, radiation is recorded in local fish and a leak discovered at a storage tank with contaminated waters. And when TEPCO finally admits that there is leaking toxic water, it also revealed that up to 300 tons of that radioactive leak was also found in water flowing into the ocean. Now, Robert Jacobs, who's an associate professor at Hiroshima Peace University, says there's no immediate solution for the crisis.
Nobody really knows how to solve the problems at Fukushima. There is nobody who has solutions to these. The problems at Fukushima are unprecedented. So even bringing in outside expertise, all that they can do is try to problem solve. There's no solution that other countries have that they can come in and fix the reactors, or rather shut down the contamination, shut down the leaks. So even other countries coming in and bringing their expertise will hopefully bring more professionalism than TEPCO has shown in the last 2.5 years. But even those experts will be at a loss as to how to solve the immense problems that we'll be facing for decades in Fukushima.